Hey class, this is Eddie Baratino. I'm actually a full-time flex learner in this marketing class. So I probably haven't seen most of you. I apologize for that. I just can't get to class because I work second shift. Anyway, I am doing my marketing plan presentation, and I'd like to share it with you guys. My concept is a reconditioned sports service that takes sports equipment items and revitalizes them basically for other users to use that are interested in sports. So it can be anywhere from recreational, you just do it, maybe half-time, you're not doing sports full-time competitively, you'd like to get some sports equipment to necessitate the need to go play some of those sports. This is something that you can do to go do that. Maybe you're at an advanced level and you like to get sports equipment, or you're running for sports equipment rather quickly. This was an idea that was put forward that I thought about for a long time that might help that out. Okay, so it's a mock business, and I kind of try to do my marketing towards a lot of the paper mailer, the brochure, with canvassing. I actually went out and I did a couple of houses around here in my neighborhood with the mailer at least. I didn't get anything back, so I hope everything's okay. And nobody called the number because the number was fictitious as well. So at least I didn't get anything for the number. What I wanted to start off with was actually the most reliable and easily absorbed sense of media, which is Facebook. So for Facebook, I actually designed a page. You guys are able to see this at all, but I did send this to Professor Haney for a link, and the name of my service is called Sports Recovery. Very quite simply is, I have a cover picture there of a before and after picture of sports equipment. Comes in probably damaged from a donor, from another athlete, and then we repair it through our staff members. Then from there, it's stored in our warehouse. We have a store as well, and then we sell that equipment at a low price. If anybody's familiar with Play It Again Sports, it's kind of a spin-off of that, but I don't think Play It Again Sports actually repaired those items before they sold them. They would just pretty much, you'd bring in items, sports equipment, and they'd offer you a price, and they either accept it, or you would take the price, or you would accept it, and then they'd resell it, assuming for another price, probably higher for what they sold it to you for. But this is a little different because we're actually taking the items, repairing them in-house. That profit is probably made off of donors, and then it's sold for a lower cost, almost like a Goodwill type deal, to the customer that wants to shop in the store. Mostly someone looking to start to get into a sport. Okay, so I actually had this up for about 3 days or so when I actually created it. I have about 200 likes on here, which is pretty good, and almost, I haven't checked it lately, but the last time I checked, and that was about an hour ago, I had about 300 views. So it's getting some play even with the limited amount of stuff I have on here. It has a fictitious address, it has a fictitious phone number. I think the only person that actually asked me if this is what was going on with this page was my brother, and I told him that it was in regards to a marketing project. But for most of my friends, they haven't even asked me about what's going on with it, other than the fact that my one of my friends thinks that I'm getting into the sports business. So I think this is great that it's kind of reaching out to people in that regard. Okay, that was my first marketing tool. My second marketing tool was the mailer, of course. I just kind of set it up like a brochure. It's very basic and simple, to the point. I have a address name for Sports Recovery, which is a fictitious name, and then the current resident that I would be going to. Now, most people that are who have actually canvassed neighborhoods, sometimes you don't even really need to put the address in here for where it's going to. You just kind of drop it in there, in their glass or in their door, and then you just kind of go on your way. A lot of the guys that have their own little lawn care businesses do this a lot. So I see a lot of brochures that come in, and they have like Joe's Lawn Care Service, and price of what they're going to cut it for, and then a contact number. So I can bring that up on my PC as well. Take a look at that real quick. So the mailer basically gives a background of me, saying who I am, what's going on with the company, what is the company. Of course, it's sports recovery. I go along the lines of talking about how I'm a sports enthusiast, how the idea came about, what our goals are, what our mission statement is. We want to provide excellent customer service, superior quality for the repairs, and we want to have people to have fun while they're enjoying sports. Okay. I have a list on here on the mailer as well of what type of sports we repair equipment for. Okay. I also give a local service center that's located in Bethlehem that they can drop off. That they can mail items to. So if it's under a certain weight, under 20 pounds, they can mail the items to. They're more than welcome to drop off as well. It was strongly encouraged that if anything was over 20 pounds, let's just say that somebody had a treadmill they want to get rid of or something, or something heavy or weights or something like that of that nature, they'd recommend to drop off. Okay. So that was the mailer concept there. Pretty straightforward. The next one that I have here is an actual brochure that I made up, listing some pictures, the process of how we do it. I also have a paper brochure that I made just for the concept. Kind of just printed that out. Had our facility, our actual warehouse where we have a tool room and all the supplies needed, indirect material, supplied for repairing stuff, fabrics, sewing machines, any type of tools that we need, power tools, pneumatic tools, staplers, stuff of that nature, for stitching or repairing any sports equipment items. Okay, logos on the front, it's a simple SR, Sports Recovery, and I have a bunch of sports memorabilia and paraphernalia in the back there. Pretty much I go through a statement of how we assess all of our sports items, and if anything is beyond repair, we say we will scrap it. But what we do is we actually reuse and recycle all these items. Okay. Then I go into my staff, and I talk about that as well. How we have knowledgeable staff. I give a little tidbit of each staff member. Of course, these are fictitious names as well. Bill George. For instance, Bill George has been repairing equipment for over 30 years. Specializes in hockey and football equipment, and then some of the things that he likes to do in his spare time. Jason Colson, he was a caddy. He worked as a caddy for some elite golfers in the PGA. So it's all fictitious stuff, but it all draws attention. So this is stuff that you need in your background here to promote your business. Obviously, you want knowledgeable staff. Otherwise, people will not go to you to get their work done. All right, so it's a brochure. Something like this typically would be in-house in the store, or when you have consultations with a customer for something. Okay, and my last item before I end the actual video presentation is I did a little video commercial of myself. I'll play it for you guys real quick. You can see that, or let's hear the audio for it. This is Eddie Barrettino here with Sports Recovery. We're a business that takes reconditioned sports equipment and we bring it back to life. We take repairable items that from every type of sport. We take a look at them from our experienced staff, and we see if we can recondition them, renew them, revitalize them for other people to use. Okay, so that's just a tidbit there. I went through a video of explaining what we do. I had some props here as well, and I lifted them up, and I showed in what manner we're going to use those to repair. So this is my nutshell of my marketing project. And I'm really glad to share with you guys, and I did learn a lot this semester about marketing in general. A lot of the things that are in the book as far as marketing yourself, everything that you do in life is marketing yourself. So it's really not about the product or service, it's about selling yourself. But I did have fun this semester and enjoy. Everybody have a good holiday. Thank you.